Okay, I think we are now live, just double checking. Awesome, thanks guys. Sorry, I just had a joy of my camera not working on my proper computer, so I have to switch devices. I am with you now though. Come on in guys, good. We've got everyone dropping by. Welcome. Right-hand chat box. If this is your very first time in an office hours session, welcome firstly. And secondly, right-hand chat box is where you can pop your question. If you've sent me a question in advance, do let me know in that chat box as well. Hey Grace, I sent you a form through the portal, and put your email address in that you used, and I'll be able to go and find your question and make sure I answer that as well. All the questions are on private, so I can see your question, but other people can't, so don't worry about asking silly questions because it's just me. So you can pop them in the chat box. I'll jump in and answer any questions that are coming in, and we get to do this for the next couple of hours and help as many people as I can. And yeah, I know a lot of people also log in just to listen to other people's questions and the answers to other people's questions. So welcome to those people as well. And we'll just make sure that everyone is in. Yes, looking pretty good. Wonderful. A few people just joining in now. For those that have just joined me, welcome into office hours. Right-hand chat box is where you can ask any questions you've got at all. And also if you've sent me a question in advance and submitted it into the portal, then let me know that as well in the chat box, and I'll be able to go and find that, and I'll answer them in order from first to last. Got a few people that have just joined and asking how this works. For the ones that have just joined, for those that were here earlier, sorry, this is the third time I'm explaining it, but for the ones that just joined, if you've asked a question in the portal earlier, type in here into the chat box, hey Grace, I've asked you a question in the portal, and pop your email address in that you used to ask that question, and I'll jump in and grab it for you. And I'll just work in order from first to last in terms of the questions asked. First in, best dressed. Wonderful, lovely. Okay, I have already got my first 10 or 15 questions, so I better get cracking. Let's get going. So first up is Anna or Anna. For the person transcribing this office hours in the future, it's ANA. So Anna's question, I'm selling a 6 to 8 week course in photography. Can I create my portal to drip feed inside ClickFunnels where my students can access each week's lessons? Absolutely. So what I want you to do is jump into inside the office hours module 9, you will see my module on memberships. In there, I show you how you build out on ClickFunnels, already included in the 97 basic version of ClickFunnels. Inside that, you've already got included the ability to build as many membership portals as you want. Well, within reason, there's probably a cap on that, but you know, build membership portals and be able to drip feed out that content. So drip feed out videos or downloadables or things like that in a breakdown of different modules and different lessons within those modules. They call it sections and lessons within each section. And you can also drip feed them all out. So you can say, right, they get access to the intro for every module, kind of like what I do. The intro for every module up front plus all of module 1. And then maybe 30 days later, they get module 2 and, you know, blah, blah. So you can unlock it all in that way. I teach you exactly how to do that in module 9 inside the Doing Academy. So I show you how to build a ClickFunnels membership site, but it's quite straightforward to do. You can go and watch my training in there, but it's very straightforward to do in ClickFunnels. You can probably do all of that in like a Saturday, get all that content inside and put it all in. So it's super quick in ClickFunnels, and that's where I always start with a membership program, because I don't want to spend heaps of time building and creating and setting up a program. I want to get straight to that sale point and prove that people want it. Once I've proven that and I've got my first sort of 50, 100 members, then I'll transition it across into like a fully fledged, better membership experience. But up front, that is more than enough and plenty for most people to get started with. Much quicker and much cheaper than going the other way, which is WordPress up front. Patrice, I feel like I just was answering some questions that I missed in Identity Project last week because of time. I was just going through and quickly answering those and getting my team to send those back to you guys. And yours is one of them. So let me just find it, because I actually wrote a response. It should be in the email I just sent my team member. Where is it? Patrice, if you're Patrice, who we were having all sorts of joys with last week in terms of your downloadables, we're proving problems for you. My answer was, these are fantastic, really happy with these. This is the long story short. About your likable lady emails, really relatable, great writer, great leading paragraphs. I'm pretty happy with these, not too much copy. They all look to be under 300 to 350 words, so that's great. My only real feedback changes that I'd make before going live is to add in a stronger call to action to them. So that special 10% off discount, make that really clear in the bottom of each email and use urgency to act. So the only thing that was missing from that is that call to action in the bottom of your likable lady emails. When you're emailing people, we're not emailing to make friends. That's just a part of the equation. We're emailing as a business to make sales. So whilst our whole email isn't going to be buy from me, we do need to make sure that each one has a good couple of sentences at the bottom of those likable lady emails telling them what you want them to do next. They just won't convert otherwise. So, and giving them a reason to go and do that now. So urgency is the most powerful thing you can have in a marketing message. So that 10% off discount available for the next 2 weeks or whatever that looks like, putting some sort of urgency around that and letting them know exactly what they need to do. Just click here to, to check out our blahs and take advantage of your 10% off discount within the next 2 weeks. And then, another few days later, it might be within the next 10 days, and you just kind of keep on dropping that time frame to add the urgency. You've just said, and then you said you've got a question about e-commerce pages. Sorry. It was actually a different question you wanted me to answer. Well, I was just being helpful with that one anyway. Okay, where is it? Go back. Go away. Where are you? So, yeah, someone else has just logged in and kicked me out. One momento. I need to get into all of my questions. Cool. So I'm guessing if you're in office hours, you entered it in the office hours questions. And I'll just search for your name. There you go. Cool. Cool. So in your case, if you've got an e-commerce store and you want to get opt-ins with lead page templates and things like that, which ones do you recommend for e-commerce stores where you can show products they may want to shop, for example, to use the discount that I'm offering? No, so the whole lead magnet, the discount isn't the lead magnet, remember? So the discount isn't the lead magnet. The lead magnet, that first step, is a downloadable or a checklist or a, something no strings attached. So 10% off isn't your lead magnet. That's the next step they get. So the lead magnet, that first lead magnet offers that element. The second page, when you're looking at the thank you page template for your lead page, the second page is where you then thank them for what they've just done and ask them to take the next steps. Now, which is jumping over to the store. And I wouldn't be putting too many different bits and pieces on that landing page. I'd be making it really clear that you want them to take this 10% discount. So you might put the thank you page code on that page, and then they jump over into the store to go and create their product or create their order. So in your case, there's one in lead pages, and you'll see it. It's called a 2-step thank you page. You should see it in my examples in the Identity Project, because I know you're in the project. Step 1 has a video. Watch this first, where you thank them for the lead magnet, and then you invite them to jump over to your store and give them some, some purpose and a bit of a story and a message and a reason and a bit of urgency to get over there. So step 1 is the video. Step 2 is some product photos or something like that and a button to click on to head on over to the store. So step 1, step 2. And step 2 usually has a little bit of some of the girls have designed nice little banners for that bit there where it says get 10% off your purchase for the next 14 days. Welcome to the family. Photo of a product, a nice little banner that their designer has designed, or they've designed it in Canva themselves. And people can click on that or the button below it and jump on over to the website to buy. Jump on over to an actual page of the store, not just the home page, but an actual page of the store. So that's how thank you pages tend to work best in your space. A video, and then in step 1 and step 2, that kind of layout. So there's a layout in lead pages called step 1, step 2. Or it's called a 2-step thank you page where they have the video up the top. That should be able to help. Next question is from, hold on, using 2 computers today. Welcome to those that have just joined me as well. Pop your questions in the right-hand chat box. If you've sent me a question in advance and you've submitted it through the portal, just let me know in the chats here that you've submitted a question through the portal and give me your email address and I'll be able to answer that as well. Yes, Angela, you'll find those in module 3. Angela's just asking for scripts for Mother's Day campaigns for e-commerce stores and things like that. Not scripts, email copy. You'll see my promotional email copy for e-commerce stores in module 3, which is automation, under email copywriting. You should see some samples. If you don't see it, let us know, but you should see some samples in there under email copywriting, and you can just jump in and grab those. I think it's like a winter warmer campaign or something like that we did that's in there, but that shows you the types of things we're saying in the email, the urgency we're adding, and the frequency in which we sent those. Belinda, yes, I saw your question. Awesome. Okay, so she's just asking about, Belinda's just asking about a WordPress theme and what I think of this particular one. Oh, you're thinking about the Waffles. Okay. So she's thinking about having the Waffles theme for her homepage theme. What do I think? No, it won't convert the way you want it to convert. So for an actual website, hold on. No, sorry, you're talking about for your membership program. Sorry, I thought you said there for your homepage, but you didn't say that at all. Yes, I'm fine with that. So she's just asking for permission. I actually show you in membership 9 the template that I use for my own membership course. And Belinda's just saying, can I use that same template for my membership course? Yes. I may regret that down the track, but yeah, that's just me being generous. Yes, a lot of my girls are using that same template. Make it your own, obviously, as you're saying. You said it'll totally be adapted to my brand, of course, not copying yours. But yeah, I told you that for a reason. I'm happy for you to use it. So yeah, for those that have proven that their model works and they're ready to take that WordPress step in building their program, I'm happy for you to use Waffles, my theme. It's all in module 9. Go nuts. Go absolutely nuts. Except the other day I saw someone using my templates. I'm totally fine with using my templates. You just still have to make them your own. And I seem to not be able to communicate this very well, because some people think that they have to change everything on it so that it doesn't lay out anything like mine, which kind of defeats the purpose of using the template. And they don't keep all the same marketing psychology principles there. And then others literally change nothing and call it doing days. I've seen 4 people doing days lately in my community, which is not okay and not the reason I let you copy. So it's just finding that balance, I guess. Like, don't call it the Doing Academy. Don't make it pink and teal. I don't know, just change it, but don't change it that much. I find it really hard to kind of explain the middle ground, because people go on both extremes. Yeah, does that make sense? But from what you're saying, Belinda, it's exactly how I want people to use it. Use the total layout and all that great functionality. Just make it your own, with your own brand, your own colorings, your own message. And you know, when even just little things like doing my flip cards, that doesn't work for a lot of industries. Like, don't do my flip cards. If you're a yoga teacher, don't do flip cards. Get into a yoga studio and do something in a yoga studio. You know what I mean? Just those with the videos. Putting your own flavor on it is really, really important. But it's more the web psychology of the layout of the page that I think is really important to keep. Well, I know it's really important to keep because that's what converts. Does that make sense, guys? It's a hard line, but basically it's just the layout that's important. Yeah. I hope that helps. Belinda, what you said is just completely fine. Hi guys, coming in. Cherie. So Cherie's question is about e-commerce. What Facebook strategy would I suggest if the average order value is low, 30 bucks? When I'm doing my numbers on Facebook, the ads aren't going to be profitable no matter how I do them. So should I just set aside an advertising and do awareness, clicks to website and something else? Yeah, so in your space, when you've got a really low average order value, and particularly if people aren't doing high repeat business, like I'll pay a certain amount to get a customer if I know my customer lifetime spend. So average order value is important, but lifetime spend is more important to me. If I know that someone's coming back every month and spending that 30 bucks and my average customer is like $400, well, then it's worth spending 40 bucks to acquire a $400 customer. You know what I mean? But if that 30 bucks a month is kind of one-off and I haven't got strong recurring business in my e-commerce store, then yes, that's a low return on investment. And that's something that's really hard to make work with any form of paid advertising, right? Which if it's really hard to pay to advertise in your model and you can't make that financially work, it tends to potentially show deeper issues with the business model and the pricing structure itself. So usually, whilst an order value might be low, average order value might be low, hopefully your customer lifetime value isn't. Otherwise, you're going to have to put a lot of money behind yourself to back that up front. Because you're after volume and you're after one-off purchases, and that's going to be hard to make work unless you've got a lot of experience as an entrepreneur. But if you've got a high customer lifetime value on an average, then I would definitely, as I said, if I've got a $400 customer, I'll be happy to spend 40 bucks to get that $400 customer, and as a result, I could then spend 4,000 bucks to get $400,000 customers. Dollars worth of customers, so totally worth it. So you need to have a look more, I think, what your lifetime value is of your people. Otherwise, things like brand awareness or clicks to website could work, but it's very hard to track results from those. I mean, you can do a funnel and be tracking people to get to the final checkout page of your store, the thank you confirmation page, but that come through Facebook traffic and using Google Analytics to figure out whether Facebook's bought the sales or not. But it's not like a website conversions campaign where I've spent $1 and I've just made blah. You literally are kind of going to just have to assign a certain amount to an advertising budget and see if there's some form of correlation in an increase of sales. But I'd like to consider that your average customer lifetime value is much higher than your one-off order value, and as a result, it's worth spending to get a loyal customer. But yeah, video views or clicks to website. I probably wouldn't even touch brand awareness up front. I'd probably do video views and clicks to website. And I'd make it specific around product. So if I was doing clicks to website, I'd make it specific around a specific product that I would do an ad for. And I might do like 5 or 6 different ads. And each ad is about a specific, like one of your top 5 best sellers, do an ad for each in website clicks. But I would normally not recommend that because it's a great way to waste money and not make a return, because Facebook's not optimizing itself in any way towards people that purchase, which is what a website conversions ad is. It's just directing a whole heap of people that like clicking on ads. People that like clicking on ads doesn't necessarily mean they're people that like pulling out a credit card for you, right? So it'll increase traffic, but it doesn't necessarily mean quality traffic. So that's why conversions tend to work better. Claire, she asked a question in the portal yesterday. Got it. Okay. So I'm just reading it. One moment, Claire. Okay, so first thing, I don't log into anyone else's Facebook accounts. That's opens me up to way too much legally, and it'll also usually get you kicked out of your own account if I jump in. So I can't jump into anyone else's Facebook accounts. But in terms of your Facebook ads, so you're wanting to know because you're not being able to reach very many people for $5 a day. So usually that's to do with the ad set. So Claire, can you just let me know in the chat if you've watched and applied the training that I did with Adam last week before, whenever that was, the one where we go through Lisa's example and the triage calls examples and the mum with 9 kids examples. Can you just let me know if you've watched that one yet? Because I'll just refer you to a few things in there to help out with that. Sherry, so S-H-E-R-Y for the person who's transcribing this. Uno momento. There you are. No, hold on. So you submitted one using Charmaine. I've got you. Your name's Charmaine in here. Cool. Yep, this is you. And then I'll come back to yours in a second, Claire, once you're able to respond as to whether you've done that training. Charmaine is conducting, or Sherry is conducting, a live workshop in April. Congratulations, we're doing this. Wanted to know if for her bump, her $37 bump when people register, if it's okay to offer 10 email copies or scripts that my clients have used to land gigs and jobs. 100%, that's great. Yep, it's similar to my kind of a model, but in a very different niche. Yeah, so when you're doing a live event and you charge $1 for the ticket reservation, and then you've got the bump of the $37, the $37 bump should be something that's completely automatable, valuable, but doesn't require you to manually do anything to fulfill it, right? So a document or a template or some sort of digital something, but not too massive where it's like a whole program. You don't have much further to go, you know, when you're offering end product. So that kind of thing is perfect. Yeah. Short answer, yes. Go with that. Pop it up as your offer, and let's see how many people opt in and take advantage of that. I'd like to see it at around 30%. And I think you could word that as like I do in a way where that seems attractive. Because mine converts at 30, can I say 37%? Something like that. Okay. So Claire, okay, cool. You have watched the training. So in that case then, the main thing that you need to be doing is checking if your emails are costing you, you know, under that $5 mark. If you're getting emails for $2 or $3, then you're all good, and you don't need to change anything except you haven't got enough people in the audience that you've selected, right? So looking at the audience sizes that we had and the different kinds of results that we were getting from those audience sizes, when I showed you the testing in Facebook, it's you know, as long as there are over 10,000 people in that audience set, you can get some really good traction with that and get some really cheap emails. So first things first, if you can't get any of your ad sets to perform and give you cheap emails, then it's a problem with the message and the ad and the offer, right? They're not actually wanting what you've got. So it's a matter of rewording it and making sure that you're following my flow in the text and the way that you're running the ad itself. Or if the ad that you've written follows the principles of the ad that I recommend, you know, those steps that you go through to write the ad that actually converts, if it follows those principles, then it suggests, and it's still not working, then it suggests that the market doesn't actually want it. And regardless of how well you create an ad or how accurate your targeting is in terms of putting it in front of your ideal client, if it's not something they want, it's not something they want. So that's what I would first test. I would make sure that your ad matches the flow of what the kinds of things you need to include in your ad that I recommend. I would maybe do one, try swapping out the image, because that's got, and making sure that it matches the kinds of criteria that I was saying about an image in that training. Because the image is accountable for 80% of the ad success in terms of the copy itself. So swap out the image and give that a try. Make sure you're following my formula in the way that you write your ad. And if you can't get conversions, email addresses, for under $5 with that, then it suggests that they don't want the offer, because that's the best way to write an ad on Facebook. So you just need to reposition the offer. Or the next step, right? It might just be a lead magnet that they just don't care for and they don't connect with, they don't resonate with. However, if you are getting, worth checking too, the conversion rate of your landing page, because if you're getting hundreds of people that are liking the offer, but your email, and so they're all clicking, but your emails are still really expensive, it suggests that your landing page isn't converting at 20% or more. So that's a few things to check for you. Make sure that your copy matches the copy flow that I recommend. Make sure that your landing page is converting at 20% or more. And then, and if it's not, make sure that you use one of my landing pages. Make it look very similar to the landing pages that I showed you. I've showed you a landing page in Facebook that works incredibly well. So use that one because it works. If you've done those 2 steps and they're both ticking boxes, then it means that you're using the wrong ad sets, and the people in the ad sets aren't wanting it enough to click. So you just got to test a few more ad sets. So it's just going through each of those steps. Is my ad copy aligned with Grace's ad copy? Tick. Okay. Is my landing page converting at 20% or more? Go and look at lead pages or click funnels to make sure you're getting 20%. If you are, tick. Okay. Have I got my ad in front of the right people? Because if it's still over $5 an email, then it's too expensive to build a funnel from. So test those things, or review those things and see where in that process you've got one of those steps letting you down, and you can just focus on that one step that might be letting you down. Roma, you are next. There you are. Okay, I am having a good day. Thank you. Okay, so you've definitely got something wrong. So she's just asking around her Facebook ad. She's had 116 conversions, but then in the next sentence you say you've had 308 sign up for your mailing list in a week. So 308 new email subscribers in a week is flipping awesome, right? But you've got a breakdown. I think you've actually got, when you say you've got 1,016 conversions, you actually mean 1,016 clicks at 16 cents a click. Now that's fantastic, that's really cheap, but just make sure that when you're looking at your reporting, it doesn't say 1,016 conversions, it should say 1,016 clicks. If it says 1,016 conversions, your conversions should be the email addresses. So you've just set up your conversion pixel wrong there, because we know you've only got 308 email addresses and you're saying 1,000. So you might have just done a typo in that, in the question you submitted, but just double check that. If it's saying you've got 3 times as many conversions in Facebook as you actually do have, it means you've set up your pixel incorrectly and you've told it to track people who get to the first page, not the second page. People that haven't watched my Facebook training, this won't make any sense to you if you're not up to that point yet. But that's a big one for you, Roma. I just definitely make sure that you're tracking people that get to the thank you page. So they've put their email in and they're through to the thank you page. It'll just make your reporting way more accurate. Not your reporting, it'll get you much higher quality traffic and it will make everything a whole heap cheaper. Okay, so you're getting 308 people signing up for your mailing list, which is like flipping awesome, right? But people aren't taking you up on your thank you offer. So we need to refine your offer. It's not connecting with people. Now, there are 2 reasons usually why this is. One reason why people's actual second, like next step offer doesn't connect with the first free lead magnet. One reason is usually because they're coming in with a totally different pain point than the pain point that your solution solves. So in the sense that if you've got people, if you're a parenting coach and you've got people coming into your funnel through a sleep lead magnet, because you're telling them, you're saying, hey, do you have 0 sleep and always exhausted and need a wit's end in terms of your child's sleeping behaviors. You bring them in through a lead magnet like that, And then on the thank you page, you try and say transition to children's clothing. No congruency at all. And that's probably the biggest thing that I see when the lead magnet doesn't connect with the thank you page offer, right? You just can't, even though they're both moms and they're both probably interested in children's clothes, it's just not congruent, and you're not solving the same pain point that they came in with. If they're all getting super excited about a sleep pain point, you need to have a sleep solution at the end, right? It needs to be that congruent. So make sure that your thank you page offer is the next step to solve that same pain point that they came in with, right? So think about their pain point and make sure that it answers that. So that's normally the main reason why I see people getting heaps of emails, because the email offers really relates to a pain point. And then if they don't get heaps of take-ups on the next step, it's because of that. The second reason, let me just have a quick look at this landing page. The second reason is obviously that the thank you landing page just doesn't connect and doesn't convert. I'm just going to quickly put a test email in here. This offer is sorry, I'm just watching her video quickly. Cool, I like this. So this is a self-liquidating funnel, right? When we click learn more, so I reckon that's the main problem here. So she's got a really cool thank you page video that makes me, you saw when I was watching it, right? I smiled. I just liked her from watching that video. So after they put the lead magnet the email address in to get the lead magnet, which in her case is an ebook, when they get to the thank you page, she's standing and she's teaches singing. She's standing in front of a mic and those Rode, proper mic cover things that they have. Ignore me, Roma, and see, this is the big part here, but I think this is easily solved. The problem is that when they put their email address in, they get through to that thank you page, they watch this great video, and then they click to learn more to get about the $37 course that she's got. When they click to learn more, they go to a page where there are literally, it's just not a high converting page. So, but I'm guessing this is, I'm just going to have a quick look at the page. So I'm guessing this is Kajabi or something along those lines, where you're teaching, like a teaching platform that manages all of the payments for you. Yeah, it's taking them through to Thinkific. So if it were me, I would like to be getting the $37 payment on that first page. You know what I would do if this were me? I would test, just really quickly, I would test swapping out that learn more button on the thank you page, where they then go through to that course platform sales page, right? It's really long and not very compelling and heaps of text and really wordy. I would consider back on that thank you page, instead of clicking learn more, they click, get started or something along those lines, or and they click on that button and a pop-up appears where they put their payment details in. So you can totally do that on lead pages. It's called a Stripe integration. And it'd be worth setting that up, because I think that, well, I'm quite confident that that's your disconnect there. Clicking and then going through from that exciting page of view to going through to this page that's like huge and that has navigation and all this other stuff going on, where people get confused and get, what's the word when they, when someone clicks and gets distracted, right, by the different navigation in there. So I would love you to see try going into module 2, where we look at lead pages and we talk about adding a payment to a lead pages page. And add a payment to a lead pages page through Stripe. Basically what that means is they'll click on that button, that'll pop up, they'll pay their $37. Now I know that's not linked to Thinkerific, right? I'm aware of that. But it'd be worth you doing your own version of that if you're able to close 20 times the sales, because your landing page is congruent and your landing page works compared to sending them over to Thinkerifics. So yeah, that's the main way that I would look at going about that. And then we can register in the Thinkerific course, or you can create your own, which is way better, and you have complete ownership of everything in that program. So that's one thing that I tend to see when people use Udemy or Thinkerific or all the other courses, about 5 or 6 of them that a lot of my girls are using. When they're using, or have been in the past, when they're using those other programs, they just tend to not convert anywhere near as well as landing pages like your first one does, and now your second one can. So I would be wanting to see too how many people are clicking on your second landing page, right? I'd be really intrigued to see how many people click to learn more. If no one's clicking to learn more in your, I think those stats should be in lead pages for you. If no one's clicking to learn more, then it's a problem with the offer. But I reckon a lot of people are clicking and dropping out after that click, in my experience, from what I've seen people engaging with. I hope that helps, Roma, just to decide on the next steps, because you're off onto a cracking start, right? You're at a fantastic position. I think from what you're saying, your emails are costing you like 80 cents, maybe even less, which is flipping awesome. So you've got your offer and the potential for this model. You've got a huge market, and you've got a market that's clicking like crazy and that's acting. We just need to figure out the exact thing that they want to do on that thank you page to trust you enough to give you cash, which is a doable problem to solve. It's definitely not something that you should be intimidated by. We can totally do that. We just have to test a few different things. First, we have to test if it's a landing page swap that's causing them to break down, or if it's the actual offer itself. If the landing page isn't the issue and no one's actually clicking on that button, I would test that offer for $1. And not for long term, but I would test that offer for $1. If they're not willing to give you $1 for an offer, then the offer's not right. But if they're willing to give you $1 or more for an offer, then you just have to make that offer more compelling and more compelling. And the landing page convert better. I hope that helps. Cool. Next question is from Candice. Yeah, cool. So she's wondering about with ClickFunnels, there's a cap of 20 funnels at the $97 subscription. Love some tips on how to manage this to prevent having to go up to the next subscription level. Totally get that for sure. I highly recommend doing multiple funnels in one. So you can have 5, like, you know, you might have you can't really see this. I've done this a couple of times in the past, actually, in some test accounts. And then because I make funnels for people in the, like I share funnels with you in the academy, and I'm doing all sorts of testing in heaps of different markets so that I can give you guys the best results. I decided to go up to the next level, so I've got 1,000 funnels. Not that I've got 1,000 funnels, I've probably got 100, but you can totally make the most out of your current account, because within the funnel itself, you can have a certain number of steps, right? So if it's the funnel number that's the issue, you can have multiple steps in a funnel, in the sense that in one funnel, you could have, what have you got here? 1, 2, 3, 4 pages in this funnel, and then probably a thank you page. You could then literally have another lead magnet, another funnel that starts below that. So you can kind of have as many different funnels as long as the steps follow each other and they don't link in between. So the thank you page of this funnel, you don't want them to be able to click on something in there and go to the next lead magnet, because that doesn't make sense. But you can literally have multiple funnel steps and different versions of funnels within one funnel, if that makes sense. If you are also struggling with the number of funnel steps, you would have too many funnels that you're not actually using. So just double check that one. But a lot of my girls, for example, their lead magnets on their website, they'll put all of those within one funnel just to make it quicker and easier. So that's always an option. They're just down below each other, just 1, 2, 3, just keep copying them down below each other and putting the thank you page offer and a thank you page in between each of those. So the funnels have to close themselves off, but I'm saying this in this way because I think you're going to understand it because you've built so many funnels. It's a little bit of an advanced way to spell it out, but I think you get that right. Multiple funnels within the same funnel, as long as the funnel steps start and end on their own. Start and end on their own. You just keep going down like that. So yeah, that would be the case there. If you've got, I think the funnel steps, what's the funnel steps limit? Because I know there's a limit on how many funnels you can have, which is 20. And there's a limit on how many funnel steps you can have, which I think is 100. If you're actively using more than 100 landing pages and they're all getting results, then you can totally justify the next level of ClickFunnels. But if you're using 100 landing pages and hitting that limit, 100, steps, funnel steps, and can't justify it, then you're definitely not using those landing pages properly. So I hope that helps. You're welcome. Pauline, here you are. Cool. So you're doing your Likeable Lady emails. I've got to figure out how to stop my computer from downloading each attachment in the portal. Whenever I click on it, when you submit your attachments in the form, they download 7 times onto my computer, which is a bit weird, a bit annoying. Okay. Cool, so I'm looking through the Likeable Ladies. My Likeable Lady email check. Girlies that have been in a lot of office hours will be able to do this with their eyes closed because I check Likeable Ladies quite a bit. So first things first, I'm going to be looking at word count. If it looks like any are really long and really chunky, then I will do a quick scan and count the words. And all of these word counts are well under 300, so I'm very happy with that. Next thing I'll look for is the flow. I want to see enough leading paragraphs where there's some dots and onto a new line. So I don't want any big chunky blocks. And more importantly, I want to use the dots, new line, new line. I want to use those leading paragraphs well so that people want to keep on reading. So I would even have, looking back 7 years ago to the drama that was unfolding, new line, with my husband's illness, comma, living in the story, comma, we'd forgotten what a normal sleep pattern should be. That doesn't quite make sense to me, but maybe that's a typo. Exclamation mark, new line. And then you just keep going through those flows. So I would probably use a few more dots just to get a few more of those profound statements on a line of their own. Some of these emails are also a tiny bit short. No, I'm happy. No, they wouldn't be too short, just a few more leading paragraphs. So Robin asked to try the oils to help him sleep, new line. I woke the next morning to realize he'd slept all night, new line, the first time in 2 years, exclamation mark. Right, so another thing that I'm looking for is trial closes, which are questions with a yes answer. Is the timing right for you? Yes. Would you or someone you know like a great night of uninterrupted sleep? Yes. So I'm guessing if you're reading this, restful sleep is important to you. Am I right? Yes. So asking those questions with a yes answer is good. So we've got a few trial closes in there. Another thing I'm looking for is the offer. The offer has to be really clear in every one of the emails. It has to be the same next step that you want them to take in all of the emails. And it has to be spelt out so that I actually want it enough to click on these emails. So I'm not so sure I like the give it a go message. It seems a little non-committal and a little vague. So just spell it out. The start sleeping sooner. program, or I don't know, some sort of program around just the calling the program Give It a Go, just a little bit weak, I reckon, in what you could ask them to commit to by pressing a button. So I'll be okay going a little bit warm with that. But the biggest thing is I don't actually have any idea at all what I'm going to do when I'm clicking on this button. So I'm just going to go through and click on the button and see what it is. Absolutely no idea. And when I click on it, I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know what I'm paying for. I don't know how much it costs. And I've got to fill out a lot of details. So what I'll be doing is sending them through. Don't send them straight to the application form from this email. From this email, send them through to the thank you page offer. Get them to put their first name, last name, email, phone. That form that you send them to from the email is still way too hot. That was like, I had to fill out like 40 or 50 fields, right? Too much by the time you get to the bottom of those forms on those pages. And it was a 6-step form, too much. And when I had no idea what I was doing. So make it really clear what it is you've got for them and what sort of commitment you want from them, right? So is this a package? Is this a monthly subscription? None of that was spelled out in these emails. So that's the main thing in here. You need a lot more clarity. The Give It a Go restful sleep order is too vague. So we need to spell out exactly what we've got for them and why they would actually want it, particularly looking into that in each email and in particular in email 4, really spelling out a little bit more exactly what you've got for them. So they can click on that. Yeah, just because there's Give It a Go and then there's Order Now. I think they're both the same thing. Yeah, I've absolutely no idea what I'm buying. So that's the main thing. Just double check on that and make sure that that's all very clear and spelled out and really enticing as an offer. And I will be sending them first through to capture first name, last name, email, phone, and then through to the longer application form, because I think you'll find that will just show and prove to you that I think you'll find the application form will have a huge dropout, and you may have to do that on the phone with people rather than expect them to sit at their computer and do that. So first name, last name, email, phone, at least then you've got those contact details. You know they're interested. They just dropped out because of the form. So you can pick up the phone and have a chat and make sure that you're streamlining that process a little bit better in the future. Otherwise, you don't know. They could all be clicking and literally not converting purely because of the page you're sending them to. So let's remove that concern. Claire, your question is around, let me find it. This is the other Claire. There you are. Is that you? Yes. So your question is, there you are. Cool. So when I'm creating a lead ad on Facebook, firstly, I don't recommend you build lead ads. So make sure that if you want to do Facebook advertising that works as well as mine works, you would follow my training and do the types of ads that I build, which are website conversion ads. So make sure that you watch the Facebook training. You can build a lead ad if you want, but most marketing leaders in the world and influencers are spending, I spent $2 million in the last 12 months on Facebook, and we're not getting the results from lead ads that we're getting from other campaigns. So I'm showing you the best way to build Facebook ads. And remember, I started with $5 a day 18 months ago. Like, that's a pretty insane quick way to build a business, right? So the way that I'm doing it works. I can't tell you that lead ads work because very few people have got those to work. But the question you asked, though, is a good one around privacy policy. Privacy policies you absolutely need regardless of the Facebook ad you're doing. If you're collecting anyone's email address, you need a privacy policy and terms and conditions. I'm not a lawyer. This isn't legal advice. But you'll see on gracelever.com that I've got privacy policies and terms and conditions. So where to get one of these from? There are some pretty good privacy policies already online on legal websites. My favorite 2 legal websites in Australia would be lawpath.com.au, lawpath.com.au. US and overseas, rocketlawyer.com is really good. The good thing is that you're bound by your, I'm not a lawyer, this isn't legal advice, but from what I have quite a few lawyers on my consulting team, and you're bound by the law of your country. So I'm not a lawyer, this isn't legal advice, but it's good that you just have to be, if people are doing business with you, they're doing business with an Australian company, so they abide by Australian laws. There are international laws around privacy that have to be followed, but in most cases it's just based on the company laws. So you don't have to go, I'm selling in like 30 countries, I don't have to go through 30 countries of insane legal requirements. They're doing business with an Australian company, they follow Australian law. If they're doing business with an American company, they follow American law, and so on. So normally if you've got a lawyer who's experienced with online business in your company, you're good. LawPath and Rocket Lawyer both have heaps of free templates. No, heaps of done-for-you templates that are cheap that you can download yourself. Or you can put up a little job, like a job board for lawyers, basically. You can say what you need done, and a number of lawyers will quote and kind of compete for your job. So it's a good way to get low-cost lawyers, but still be able to check out their reviews online and know that they're reputable and worth using. So I quite like that. LawPath and Rocket Lawyer are good for that. But for something like a privacy policy, you can probably just use one of the templates that they already have pre-done. Until you're turning over a certain volume, you tend to not need a custom privacy policy. It just has to apply with the laws of your land. I'm not a lawyer, that wasn't legal advice. That's just my experience with law as an entrepreneur. Tiff, hi Tiff. Cool, Tiff's just wondering, she's doing a live event where people pay $1 up front and then the amount after. She's just wondering how you process their card after the event. I really hope this hasn't changed in Stripe, because this is how I used to do it, because it was quite simple. Let me just log into my Stripe account and see if I can find the exact, hold on, the exact button I used to click on. Stripe, where are my logins? Copy, paste, sign in. Okay, so customers, Grace test. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. So then you go to products. One second, I'm just making sure that this is all working. Cool, yeah, I haven't got a credit card saved, so I can't do it quickly for you. What's a good way to do this? Let me just think. One second. Sorry, this is boring. Just one quick second. Yeah, it's showing me code, but it's not that hard. So let me come back to you on that one, Tiff. The way that I used to do it isn't there anymore, because I'm quite sure it was right here under when I went to customers. I could hit on a customer, and then I could hit under payments, create a payment. Oh yeah, it's still there. Good, because that was like the saving grace of Stripe. Good. So yeah, you just go into, so after your event, you've got your 49 or 97 or whatever your post-payment event is. You click on, and this is the slightly manual part, but it's making money. So just get a VA to do this. If you get bored of it, it's totally worth it. You just click on the individual, you hit under payments, create a payment, and you type in the amount you want to charge. Their card is automatically saved. Legally, you can't see the full card. You can only see the last 4 digits, and you just hit charge customer. So you can do that for everyone that attended your event. Obviously, if you're being fraudulent and charging cards that you don't have any permission to charge, then, and everyone starts complaining, then you'll get your whole account shut down and could end up in a lot of trouble. So you can only charge the cards of the people that have actually, you know, given you permission, which are the people that have registered for the event on those terms and conditions. So yeah, fuel, good, that's still there. Customers, payments, create payment. Really cool. I still can't believe they let you do that, but they do. And trust me, you can't be illegal because you'll get caught in like 2 payments and you'll get caught. But your terms are all based on that pay for value after premise, which is good. Cool. Next question. Yeah, Angela, I'll have a look at that one for you. I'll just make a note here. Can you please remind me to upload promotional email copy to module 3 of Doing Academy? Thanks. Cool. That's on my list. Nicole. Thanks, Nicole. You're a gem if you're still on here. I'm just going back through the comments, making sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay, next question is from Candace. No, I think I answered yours, didn't I, Candace? Hold on 1 second. Un momento. Sort by first name. All good there. Maybe submit it in Identity Project portal. Let me just double check. P.S. Thank you so much to everyone that submitted feedback to my survey. You're all amazing. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of responses, which is just so helpful for me to make sure that I continue to give you guys everything you need. Well, as much as I can possibly give you to build a business. So it's really exciting. We've had lots of girls demanding things, which is lovely because they have got some awesome runs on the board and want more. But I've just been figuring out the best way to package that up so that I can help as many people as possible for the right price and give you what you need at different parts. So I make it as simple and as step-by-step and giving you access to people that can help you with the more of that accountability on a weekly basis and experts in those spaces. So I'm pretty excited with what I've fleshed out, which should be launching in the next couple of weeks, for those people that want closer guidance as they're working through this. So I'm just kind of finalising a few of the details, and it will be a pilot program only open to a limited number of people up front because I need to make sure that these guys get amazing results before I launch it to everyone. But no, it's exciting. So thank you for that feedback. It was really good to make sure that I knew exactly who you were and what you liked about, like where you feel like you'd had the biggest wins and what holes were missing that you wanted more help on. It was really powerful for that. I knew most of it, but I got a few interesting, oh, really? Okay. I didn't think that kind of thing. So it was really powerful. Now, the person I'm just answering now, which is Candace, can't see your questions. I know I answered Candace earlier. I didn't think it was you, Candace, but maybe it was. Maybe I've already answered it and closed it. Yeah, I definitely can't see one under your email, Candace. So I might have already answered it, but just type in the text box above if I haven't, and I'll search for it again, maybe submit it again if I haven't answered it. But it's definitely not in that one, and yeah, it's not in either of the portals, so hopefully I've already answered it and closed it. But it seems to be different questions than what I asked earlier. Okay. Correct, Anna. You can totally have, Anna's just asking, when I'm doing a portal and drip feeding stuff out in something like ClickFunnels, is that just for membership sites, or does the same still apply for information products? No, anything where you want to drip feed it, like a 6-week course where you only want to open up a week, like on a weekly basis, the same kind of principles apply. Anything where you want to drip feed, which in most areas, in most programs, in anything you're building online, usually you will. You won't want them to have a deluge of information. Is that a word? Whatever that word is, of information up front. Deluge? I think I've got that wrong. That doesn't sound right. Of information up front where they're just bombarded with everything, and then you'll find after the same kind of thing, you'll find that people jump around. So that's why I went in the identity project or the workshop project, and even in the Doing Academy, but particularly in the projects, I need you to go in order, because that's where you're going to get the most success. And if you jump straight into module 5, you'll do it wrong because you haven't had the ones before that, so, or week 5. You need the first 4 weeks. So that's why I unlock it in that way, because if I open it all at once, I don't get the results that I want to see, and the kinds of results that I get if I open it up one at a time and just give it a little bit at a time so they do it in the right order. So that one's really important. Gentry emailed a question through earlier. Let me double check that one for you. Sorry, not emailed, submitted in the portal. Cool. So, and for the person that's transcribing this video, it's Gentry. I hope I've got that right. Gentry. In how I was pronouncing it. But your question is around your value ladder. Cool. So I'm just having a look at the one that you sent through to me. It's just downloaded it 14 times on my computer, which is great. Not your fault, but something. Oh, and now it's opening up 14 different versions of it, which is also good. Okay, I'll just let them all load, and then I'll just delete them all. Oh, it's still going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There we go. Okay, so she's got a flow where she's going from Facebook ad to a lead magnet through to a $1 offer, which is great. I like it when people start at $1. She might not forever start at $1, but she's starting at $1 there because she wants to see if they'll pay her at all for what she's got, right? So that if they won't pay you for $1, you got issues with your offer. If they're ready to pay you the $1 or more, you're great. You can now scale from there. You know that that is worthy of them getting out a credit card. One of the hardest things you do as a marketer is get people to trust you with money for the first time. That's probably the hardest part of the whole thing. Finding the right offer and putting it in front of the people, but getting them to trust you with the first dollar of their money is the hardest bit. Once you get to that point, that's when the business starts to really have, when you're able to do that on volume, that's where you really have the exponential growth. So on this page, she's asking for $1, then $37 here for a monthly membership program. They can then pay in full or downsell. It's like, oh, nice. So this is like sick. Surely you have had some marketing experience in the past, because this isn't typically what most people would come out with out of the gates. So I'm guessing you've been doing this for a little while, just the way you've thought about your upsell and your downsell. Either that, or you're a great learner and I'm a great trainer. Now, your question, what was it specifically relating to? 1 second. Your conversion numbers. Cool. So yes, I'd like to see your clicks being $1 or less. A lot of my girls, as you're seeing earlier in today's session, we've got one girl with 16-cent clicks, one with 30-cent clicks. I'd like them to be a lot cheaper, but worst case scenario, let's still make money from your funnel with $1. So $1 for your clicks, 1 in 5, so 20% convert into a lead magnet. So as a result, if you need 5 clicks to get 1 email, that's $5 an email, right? So that's where I'd like you to be sitting, and hopefully you get cheaper than that, but we can still make money from that. Then signing up for the $1 smoothie challenge, I'd like to see between 20 to 30%. I'd like to see closer to the 30%. I've done that. There's no reason. Like, I've done closer to 45%. There's no reason why you can't do 30%. But worst case scenario, 20%. Better make sure I plug in and have enough power to get me through. 1 second. I just noticed it was starting to run low. Okay. So this page here. Where's my pen? I'll just quickly draw it out for you as well. $1. This is a challenge offer thing. So I like to see this one here converting at, let's say 25%. I usually say 30%, but worst case scenario, 25%. Your core offer, $37 a month. So yeah, you could, two options here. A lot of my girls are getting the $1, which automatically kicks into the $37 per month coaching meal plan. Your two offers, though, are quite different. The challenge then up to the core offer. So you do probably have to have those on two separate pages like you've got them. A lot of my girls are kind of doing the $37 offer, the page before, and offering the first month or the first 2 weeks for $1, and then it kicks in. So you don't have to have two yeses, you just have to have one overall yes. But so you're kind of going to have another dropout again there. You're kind of going to have another dropout down to the 30% there. I'd prefer to have that offer on the page before, but it's just worth testing it. Then she's going to go up to a 147 offer. And you know what? I would pick one of those two. So this is like an upsell. It's a pay in full option, pay in full. I know you've got two upsell offers. You just choose one, don't do both. Now, this upsell offer usually tends to convert at 10% of people that take up on this, right? So I'm just going to quickly run you through the numbers because I want to know if we maybe put these two pages together. It could be a nice stepping stone offer, and this is probably something personally that I would test. I would just duplicate the funnel. I'd have one with these separate and one with them together. And I'd send, 300 people through this one and 300 people through the other version of it. Literally, I just change one thing. And I might do like 10 days testing it to one and 10 days testing it to other. At the end, I know which one's working better. Anyway, so I'll be going from, so let's put some numbers through this and see what we come up with at the other end. I want to basically know if I spend $1 in this funnel, how much does this funnel return, right? Because right now, it's a pretty automated, from what I can see here, pretty automated funnel, particularly from the sales side of things. You don't need to get involved as a human. There might be a bit of human involvement in a group sense of the actual program itself, but that's okay. You need to do something to get paid. So let's see how this works. So if I spend $1, how much do I make on the back end? Now, let's test this based on 1,000 people clicking, just so I can work out those numbers. As you know, I don't recommend 1,000 people up front. I just recommend spending $5 a day for the first few days until you get the numbers to work. But let's do a scenario and see what happens. If we get 1,000 people to click, what happens at the other end? So if I have 1,000 people clicking on my Facebook ad, here, you can expect 20% or 200 of them to give you an email. So you've got 200 emails. Of those 200, 25% or a quarter will take you up on that challenge based on these numbers. So you've got 50 challenges, I'll say. 200 emails, 50 challenges, because that's at 25%. And then of those 50, 30% will be a member. So 30% of 50 is 15, isn't it? 50 times by 30% is 15 members. And of those, 10%, so maybe 2 paying fulls. Mine range between 10 to 15%. And my one there is 297 instead of 147. So, I'd like to think comfortably you should be able to get 2 of those paying full. Okay, let's have a look at what that equals. So 50 challenges at $1 each, so that's $50. Not a massive number, but let's put it in. 15 members, $37 a month. Let's say average retention, and you might already have been testing versions of this program and know how long people stay for. Average retention in industries tends to be between 4 to 6 months of a membership site. That includes all the crappy membership sites out there and all the amazing membership sites. So 4 to 6 months is the industry standard for a membership site. We're sitting closer to 9 months. 9 to 10, and a lot of our members, like the bulk of our members, haven't even got to that chance to increase our numbers. So our retention rates go up every day. So I would say, let's say in your case, I'd like to definitely be sitting on the 6-month average. So if they're paying $37 a month, and each member's staying for an average of 6 months, 37 times by 6 months, each person here is worth $222. $222 times by 15 members, you've made $3,330, and then down here you've sold 2 of these, so you've made $300 from your paying fools. This is really messy, but you know, that kind of makes sense, right? So 300 plus 3330 plus the $50. If we add up these 3 numbers, we're sitting at $3,680 of income. How much do you have to spend? Well, based on this, we're saying that your clicks are costing you $1 each. So you have to spend $1,000 to make $3,680. So in essence, spending $1 to make $3.70, $3.68. Now, keep in mind, this is first lap through the funnel, and this is worst case scenarios. My page here, and a lot of my girls, their pages will convert at 40%, this first page. So if this converts at 40%, instead of having 200 emails, all of a sudden, for the same spend, you've got 400 emails. Therefore, you've got 100 challenges. Therefore, you've got 30 members. Therefore, you've got 4 pay in fulls. Therefore, for $1,000, you've made $7,000. Right? So this is just worst case scenario, and what I would like people to aim for as a benchmark. And then they just can go in and make each step better. Remember too, this isn't including people that, like 200 people give you an email, 50 take you up on this offer on the first page. There's another 150 people who didn't say yes right away. Doesn't mean they won't ever say yes, they just didn't say yes right away. That's what your likable lady emails are for, and they keep pushing people back at the offer. So based on those numbers, I'd be pretty happy with that funnel. If I can spend $1 and make $3, I can do that till the cows come home. If it's an automated model, I can do that till the cows come home. Right, because your expenses are probably going to be, I don't know, $100 a month for maybe $200 a month for all the infrastructure that you might need, but that can work for 15 members, and it can work the same for 100 members. Right, the costs don't go up. You just need a couple of, you know, support staff if you need to down the track. That's the biggest thing with these kinds of programs: the scalability and the leverage nature of it. I literally can have 1,000 members in my program or 10,000 members in my program. My operating costs don't tend to change very much. I just need an extra assistant to help out with the admin side of people losing logins and all the stuff that happens when you have programs like that. But you're talking about 10 times the income. The expenses don't increase by 10 times, not even close. So that's where you've got the leverage scalability. I hope that helps with answering that question. Gentry, well done. Smashing it out. You're thinking like a marketer, which is good. I like to look at that value ladder. That value ladder is totally fine. And you've even considered a $27 offer. If they say no here, you've got a $27 one-off page that they go to instead. Like, amazing, even better, right? And after the 5 emails, if they say no to this offer, I'd try this 27.1 in email 6. I'd try the $27 offer in email 6 instead of introducing that there. So that's really good. Okay. Cool. Next question is from Carolina. Got yours here, Carolina. Let me help out with this. So she's attached a file for me. Just opening it up now. Okay. So I can see your screenshot, which looks cool, but I'm just wondering what the, I was trying to, I can't really help you because I have no idea about your business model. So I have no idea what industry or niche you're wanting to work in. So I'm not quite sure. Oh, wait, I remember I think you were asking a question on the Facebook group. I remember reading this morning. I think from memory, are you in yoga? You have been in yoga and you have been in brand strategy. And this is potentially an opportunity to connect your brand strategy, your more corporate business savvy experience with your passion, your love for yoga, and helping yoga teachers, yoga studio, yoga personal brands in building a brand and building a business around that brand. Like, that's really cool, and there's a huge niche and market for that. The people in the health and wellness space that I've got that are teaching other professionals and other instructors or those kinds of things are having great success because there's so many of them and they're all in such saturated markets that they're all needing that support and that help. So that's really cool. Yeah, and that aligns with your teaching or your communication, kind of your teaching mentoring side of you that you like doing. Okay, and that's your personal strategy thought leader. Have a look. Futures together. The two offers that you've got on either side of that, I struggled to read this kind of, it looks really good, but I struggled to read what this whole document that you sent me was. But the two products now that I can see on the outside are just way too vague. I don't even know what a futurist creator is and what morphoscene means. So that needs to, your solution always needs to solve a problem, right? So it'd be much better for you to go back towards the problem and the pain and the issue and the frustration or the niggle or the agitation that these people are experiencing because they don't have what you are saying here. Because right now as an entrepreneur, I wouldn't get this because I have absolutely no idea this is, or no idea what this is, or that I really need it because it doesn't connect with me in any sort of pain way. I can't see this solving any of my problems. So I can't, right as they are right now, the perceived value of these two things is going to be quite low because it's hard to explain what they are. If you can put this into terminology that people actually get, and maybe that's why focusing in the yoga space is going to be better for you because maybe people are more aware of what you've got here about waking up and reacting and foreseeing and futurist creators. Maybe they're more aware of that kind of stuff. But for most people, that would be a tough gig to sell, a very tough gig to sell. As someone who trains people in mindsets as an entrepreneur and success as an entrepreneur, that doesn't make sense to me. So definitely being able to explain that in a more practical way and in a more pain point focused way is really important. So the biggest thing for you is, and for so many of us as entrepreneurs, is going back to where our market is. A lot of the times we've got these profound solutions. It means nothing because it is so disconnected from where our market currently hangs out. We know what they need, but that doesn't matter unless you can understand where they're at and what the best next step is for them, right? Understanding what that problem is and that just a little next step. And I know that down the track they're probably going to get there and they're going to understand all this terminology. But if I up front said, discovering and working in your genius zone is really important in a business, means nothing to no one, right? That's why I don't present that early on. I present that later on down the track. Up front, people are, dealing with overwhelm and having no idea what the next steps are in their business and getting intimidated by the whole online world and how all of it comes together. And, that's the pain points. Let's go back there. As exciting as it sounds, we can't go all the way to the other end until we take those early steps with people up front. And that's what your marketing needs to revolve around, solving the immediate problem they've got right now. And then we can position things in a more advanced way. But up front, it'll just freak people out. I hope that helps. Lynn, I'm looking at using ClickFunnels for everything rather than having a separate website. Do you know if this works? Totally. Totally. So that would all completely work fine. The biggest thing for you, Lynn, when you're doing that is making sure, so she's wanting to use ClickFunnels for her homepage of her website as well. So you'll still need to go and get your www.brand website domain to put everything on. But yeah, there's no reason why for your homepage you can't use one of the templates in ClickFunnels, one of the long form templates, one of the proper ones that look like a homepage, not just a landing page. You want a proper long one that has that credibility and authority to it. There's no reason why you can't use one of those pages as your homepage on your website. But yeah, just definitely it can't be sitting on ClickFunnels, obviously, on clickfunnels.com. You have to make sure that it's set up to be sitting on your website, on your domain, your own domain. But yeah, you can use that instead of using a template or a theme in WordPress or something like that. It's a fine place to start because, as you can see, the main focus is on getting people to take actions that you want them to take through landing pages. The website sits there kind of separately, but is super powerful in adding that authority and that brand presence, and is needed if in 2017 if you don't have a website, you're not really online. You're not online. Cool. You're welcome, Pauline. You're welcome, Roma. You're lovely. Okay. You're welcome, Tiff. I'm glad that helped. And can you set up an invoice to auto bill them? Yes, but it would need to be a different product for every person because it's based not on a date from when they first purchased, but on a calendar date after their event. So I wouldn't do that. It'd be too much admin. That other way we looked at should work fine. Okay, next question is from... Yeah, no, I definitely didn't get that, Candace, but I'm glad you've sent it through separately. So she's just sent me a few things to have a look at, which are her landing pages. Cool. Okay, so I'm liking this. The only problem is the color red very rarely converts on a landing page, which is a bit sucky. First things first, just take out a little bit of that blank space above and below the logo so that white strip isn't as deep. Just make that a little bit narrower. And put some form of background in the Get the Free Template Guide Now section. So you can, in ClickFunnels, they do have backgrounds that are just kind of like patterns that aren't too intense. You don't want it to overpower all the text you've got there. So using one of their backgrounds will just make this page a little bit more interesting. So not a full image background where it's really hard to read the text on top of it, but one of those nice grey or one of those kinds of backgrounds. If you click on it and go to backgrounds and make the background an image, so click on image, and then when you're in the images, you can upload your own image, or in ClickFunnels along the bottom, you can click, it's called BG for backgrounds. Click on BG and there's heaps of different backgrounds. Just click one of the nice plain, but not quite as plain as you've got it. Just having a white background across the whole page is a little bit boring. So that's the only thing there. And then the color. Red's a really tough one to convert. Hey, there's no reason why you can't test it. If it converts at 20% or more, sweet. Because I know your brand is red, so it's going to be a bit hard to change that color. So, I mean, it's worth testing. There's no harm in testing and seeing if we can get it to convert at that level. Looking good. I would probably make your image of your face on that first page a circle. So you'll see it says border, something like that, under image. When you click on that image, you can scroll down to the options on the right-hand side. It says border, and you can make it a circle or a oblong. No, what's a stretched circle? Whatever that's called. You can make it one of those instead. Now, when people click on that, okay, so there's just been an error. Oh no. Yeah, no, that's right. Cool. So they click on that. Now, the next page that they go through to once they put in the pop-up, the pop-up shouldn't be separate. The pop-up appears on the first page. So you can remove that second page. The pop-up should appear on the first page. And the pop-up, some people create a second page because they don't see it. The pop-up, if you're on your first page, bottom left-hand corner, when you're editing your page, bottom left-hand corner, pop-up. Click on that button there and you'll be able to edit your pop-up. But I'm pretty sure you've set that up properly. Just remove the click pop of the second step. Now let's have a look at your next page, your thank you page offer. Cool. So I like what you've done. My only thing is I've had better success lately moving the credit card form down lower. So can I just quickly show you an example? So 1 second. I do a lot of testing with different members inside our community in different markets. And one of them I just wanted to quickly show you because, let me show you what this looks like. It's just working slightly better than the other option. Just going to open it up. Where is it? Here. I'll just load them and pause the video so that it doesn't annoy the sound, and then I'll share my screen with you quickly. Preview and preview. Okay, so how do I share screen? Share screen? Yep. Share, present. So your one looks like this, right? This kind of a layout, which is good. I just see how I just made this, take out a bit of this gray space up the top, let's make it a little bit narrower. Watch this video first. So this is okay, Wes, and you've got a page very similar to this, which is fantastic. This is exactly what I want to see, like awesome job. Look at this ClickFunnels site you've built. Flipping awesome, good quality video. So I like this. This is cool, but if you've come from a free lead magnet and you get to this page next, and you've just downloaded a free lead magnet and you're kind of expecting now to see your lead magnet and you see a payment form, can be a little distracting or a little confusing. We're finding this version working slightly better. So it's a very similar layout. See how on this one, we had the video on the left, this Get the Witching mini course and the payment on the right. In this one, we just had the video by itself. And then when they scroll down, we've got this on the left and that on the right. So it's just kind of separating those two. And then the same flow like you had below, but keeping the video on its own so it's not too in your face. And then whenever they click on any of the buttons, it takes them down to the payment, which is literally just below the video. But rather than having it beside the video, we just found that this layout removed any, hold on a second, I came here for a free downloadable. That's not what I wanted. You know, I've got a payment page, close, gone, never to come back ever again. Right, so we found that this layout tended to work better. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing at the moment anyway. So video before, and then when you click any of these, it scrolls down to this section. And if you're down here and now you decide, oh yeah, cool, that's answered my question, click, it drags you back up. So these buttons, when you click on any of these buttons, it scrolls to the section. So I'm just showing you in the back end how I did that. If I scroll down here, this section here, right? This section here is what I want them to scroll to. So I'll just usually put in here, payment section. I'll just normally rename it so I know which section is which, right? So this is the payment section. So now I can click on any of my buttons and I can go hashtag scroll payment section, right? Save. I should do it for all of them. Click, hashtag scroll payment section. So now if anyone clicks on that button, it will scroll to the payment section. Hashtag scroll. This is pretty advanced and I could just copy this somehow, I'm sure. So now if I hit the preview button, just press pause on the video, it should hopefully scroll to the payment section. Scroll to the payment section. Scroll to the payment section, right? Just not as in your face as payment section up front. That's the only thing that I found lately. So it's not too hard. Just add in a section above this 2-row section, move your video up there, and just put a little bit of, what did I put underneath that? We just had a little bit more blank space there and a big $1 thing happening on the left-hand side. Yeah. So I hope that helps, but otherwise your pages are looking great. Stop screen sharing before we all go dizzy. Okay, next question is from Anna. Yep, so Anna's just wondering, when she's doing the Facebook ads, when I'm talking here about $1 clicks and $5 emails and stuff like that, she's like, how does that all work? What does that look like? So when you're doing a conversion campaign, you'll see all of this in my Facebook training on conversions. When you're doing a conversion campaign, which is the best campaign out of all the campaigns on Facebook, and anyone who's spending any form of money on Facebook will tell you the same thing. When you're doing a conversion campaign, it'll ask you what you consider that first conversion step in your funnel. What's the first thing that you want to do in your funnel? In ours, it's always getting that first email address is a conversion, right? So it'll be optimizing towards that conversion. It'll be trying to do everything it can to get you to get you people that are willing to take that first step with you, which is that email address. So that's what we want. So it'll be trying to get you cheap conversions, and usually a good mark is to get your conversions to be around $5. Now, because this landing page is converting 1 in 5 people, 20%, 1 in 5 people will give me an email address. That means I need 5 people to come to that site to give me an email address. So every person that comes to that site really is worth $1 because I know that 5 of them will get me an email. So as a result, that's why I said my clicks were $1. I've just got to open a window. I've turned on the heating down the other end of the house and it's so flipping hot that I'm about to pass out. One moment. Ugh. Oh no, it's really hot outside. Oh, that's okay. We'll manage. Will I? Yes, the breeze is coming in now. Come in, come in. So now when I say this, this is what I'm aiming for. It's not like you say to Facebook, hey, I want to get $5 emails. You don't say that. You tell Facebook how much you want to spend, and they do their best to get you the cheapest possible. Because how much these emails end up costing you is basically going to be determined by how good your ad is and how much people that you're showing your ad to actually want it. If you're showing your ad to heaps of people and they don't want your offer and no one's clicking on it, and Facebook has to work their behind off to get heaps of people over to your site so that you can try and get as many conversions as you can, your clicks and your email, your conversions will start to get more and more expensive because Facebook's having to work so hard and show your ad to so many people to get the results that you want to see. So it will end up being more expensive. So these are kind of where I'm aiming for. I know that if I've got $5 emails or $1 clicks, I know that then I'm able to make this funnel work. So normally I'm aiming for that as a conversion rate, which means that my clicks are costing around that. Yeah, that's just kind of the way that I work this. Yeah, long story short, that's what the $5 and the $1 means. Okay. Savenya, my other computer just, sorry guys, if people have just tuned in, I'm using a second computer because I don't know why, but my other computer's camera isn't working today or on Friday. And I was hoping it was just a random thing, but no, it hasn't worked today either. That's okay. So I got a backup computer. Okay. Yes, finding the right booking for your yoga business. Wait, did I just make that up? No. Yoga business, mind, body. Cool. So yeah, I normally recommend mind, body because it does a lot more, and all of my girls who have successful businesses in health and wellness, 90% of them are using mind, body. Like it's a gun system. There are always people, you always get negative, as you're saying, you've seen a few negative feedbacks. You'll always get negative feedback on any system of people that aren't using it and getting the full value from it. But if you're using it well, I know quite a few girls who have very in my program have very successful practices using this. Gyms, studios, that kind of stuff. So MindBody's great. Your other options outside there, apart from MindBody, would be, let me just quickly see if they're just not as well-rounded. 1 second, let me just see if, I think Core Plus is just health. Yeah, it is. So my other options then would probably be WooCommerce bookings if you're wanting to, but there's always limitations around this. MindBody is truly the best one out there in that space for what you're doing. But WooCommerce bookings, what is it? Just Google WooCommerce. Ooh, excuse me, that was attractive, I'm sure. WooCommerce appointments, it's called. Oh, hold on. What's it called? Give me a name. No, it's not. It's called WooCommerce bookings. I was right the first time. Have a look at WooCommerce bookings. That would be the second option around that, where people can, if you wanted to do appointment scheduling with payments, you can get some really good live demos, and it's a one-off price, not a monthly price for that. So it's worth having a look at getting a WooCommerce site with the bookings app. So you'll need WooCommerce and WooCommerce bookings. Yeah, there are your two options there. So I haven't heard of anything better than any of those. The price point that you're paying, it's just not worth it for anything else. So if you want to pay any less than that, you're going to have an ugly looking calendar with pretty manual bookings where you have to do a lot of manual intervention to make it work, which no one really wants. So I hope that helps. And I'm pretty sure MindBody are, oh yeah, you could use 10 to 8 or Calendly. It's just very simple. So it's not really comparing apples, well, it's not at all comparing apples with MindBody. MindBody does the full management of that customer experience, that client experience. Calendly and 10 to 8 are just literally booking apps. But they're fine, but they're just literally booking apps. They won't do all the other stuff that you can do in terms of scheduling different classes and scheduling multiple different trainers or practitioners or things like that on each of the classes, and doing your bookings and capping out classes and making sure that you've got enough capacity. All that kind of stuff is that next level. But if it's really, really fundamental, basic calendar bookings, then yes, Calendly and 10 to 8 would be options. Timely is my other one. They're my top 3. Calendly, 10 to 8, and Timely. Oh, there comes Adam, cruising in. Okay, next question is, I'm glad you're in my entrepreneur life. I'm glad I get to join you, Carolina. You girls are so thankful today, and I appreciate that. It makes it so much more fun when people, rather than people are saying, I have some people, you know, try and submit ridiculous amounts of things that they want me to look at and then say, feedback, please. I'm like, no, that's not quite right. That's a little bit entitled. Whereas you guys are just like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Capital letters, thank you. You know, really lovely. Go, go, go. If you've got a client awaiting, go. I'm glad I've been able to help with your question, Lynn. You've probably already left. No, so Anna and even Nicole, just a couple more things around what I was saying on Facebook. This is making these numbers, how do I explain this? I think I might have done this back to front. Okay, what you say, 1 second. Exactly, Louisa. Louisa was just saying, Savenya, Louisa was just saying that a local studio may let you have a look at their MindBody systems if you ask them nicely. Totally. If you're in like a accountability catch-up group for your country or something like that, feel free to post that in there and say, hey, is anyone else here using Mindbody? You know, I'll pay you $50, $100, sit down and have a look at it with you or something like that. Could be a good way to avoid, or they may be as generous enough just to, you do something for them, they do something for you, in terms of bartering time for time. Now, back to Anna / Nicole / a couple of people's questions. The way that Facebook works is that you tell Facebook, hey, Facebook, I want to spend $5 a day. And that's all. When you say to Facebook, this is in your ad set level, your ad set, it says how much are you willing to spend a day. And up front, you just say $5 a day. That's all I want to spend. And so Facebook will go and work the little behind off, and it won't spend more than $5 a day. So there's a limit on how many results you'll get for that, right? But we always start with $5 a day, because worst case scenario, you get 1 email, but a lot of my girls with $5 a day are getting 3 or 4 emails a day. And you just start off at that level and you make sure that your numbers work. Because when my numbers work like this, based on this funnel, if I spend $1, I make $3.70. And I'm happy with those numbers. I'm happy to spend $1 and make almost $4. Once I add in my emails and improve these landing pages, I could get closer to $6 or $7 or $8, right? So spending $1 making more is where I want to be at. So yeah, you'll just say to Facebook, I'm going to spend $5 a day. Facebook will put your ad up in front of as many people in your ad set as they possibly can. They know that their advertisers are the ones that pay the bills. So they will show it to as many people as possible, and their robots do crazy ninja stuff, analyzing how long people look at stuff, how quickly they scroll past, if they pause at any point, if they click on any part of it, if they share or like or engage in any way. They're watching these people like ninjas to see who your ideal market is and tailoring in. You might have said one sort of type of market and now tailor in within that market and get the perfect niche. You might have said 25 to 60 and they're like, cool, but it's actually 30 to 45, or they'll probably go even closer in, right? So they'll be doing ninja stuff, trying to get you good results for your $5 a day. And they'll do everything they can to do that. At the end of the day, well, this is actually happens real time, every minute, they'll be able to say, okay, we've got you, we've been able to get you 1 conversion. So you've got 1 email reported that's of people that, from all the people we've shown it to, people that have clicked and gone through your landing pages, we've picked up 1 conversion. So as a result, it'll say in your numbers, you're averaging $5 an email, $5 a conversion. And you're like, cool, great, that works. Or they might be saying, you know what, we've picked up that you've received 3 emails. So from your $5 spend today, you've got 3 emails, therefore your emails are costing you $1.60 each, or whatever that works out to be, roughly, right? Which is great, even better. I've got girls that have got 90-cent emails, right? Really cheap emails. So that means for the same amount of spend, you can get 5 times the results in essence if you're getting, you know, or 3 times the results if you're getting 3 emails instead of 1 for that price point. So that's kind of how it works. So your whole aim, after 48 hours, you know if your emails are $5 or less. It'll have generated a couple of emails for you for that, and you'll be able to see, hold on, this is working out to be $4 an email. I can work with this. This is going to be okay. I could improve this and make this better and work with this number. Or it might be getting $10 email. Be saying your emails are averaging out at $10 each. Literally, it'll tell you this within 48 hours. You don't have to spend heaps of money. So $5 a day, you can spend $10 to know whether an ad set's working. And I go through this in a whole heap of detail in my Facebook training. We go through these numbers and how Facebook works with your budget that you've got, and as a result, how you can make decisions based on what Facebook says to you. We'll show you all of that in the Facebook reporting. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. You set your daily limit at the ad set level, not the campaign level. In the ad set level, you set a daily limit, and Facebook will just work its behind off. And the amount of emails it's got, it'll show your ad, and the better your ad, the cheaper you'll end up being, because you'll be able to get better results for the same amount of work. So for example, if they have to show your ad to 1,000 people to get an email address, and they have to show you someone else's ad to 100 people to get an email address, they'll be like, your ad really, in essence, should cost 10 times more, because we had to work our behinds off for yours compared to someone else's. So if people aren't liking your offer and they're not clicking and giving you an email address, you won't get as great results for that $5 as someone else who was engaging with their market. Facebook's really aware that people don't like seeing ads in their Facebook feed. It's a social place. People are there to hang out with friends and connect. They don't like seeing ads. Facebook's aware of that. It's the only way that Facebook make money, but they're still aware that people don't like seeing ads. So they're going to make ads that everyone loves clicking on, loves engaging with, much cheaper than ads that really frustrate and annoy their market, right? So the better your results, the better your clicks, and the more compelling your ad is to your target market, the cheaper and cheaper your emails will end up becoming, because they can get a whole heap more out of your budget compared to someone else's. That's the best I can explain it. But watch the Facebook training and it will explain it in amazing detail. But yeah, that's the best way that I can explain that part of it. I hope that helps somewhat. Hope that wasn't too confusing. Next question is from one second. Okay, next question is from, one second. Yes, so this is a question from Bree, and Bree, your question around, she's wanting to do a consult funnel. So the consult funnel is where you've got a Facebook ad and then they do an opt-in for a lead magnet. This is getting horrifically hard to read. I've probably got something I can use to rub this off with. No, I haven't moved quite that well yet. I've been moving office. Where's my whiteboard? Rubber. Oh well. In her case, she's got Facebook ad through to lead magnet. The next step is that she's offering people a free consult, right? In the consult funnel. She's offering them a free consult. So she's got a video here offering them the free consult. On this page, they put in their first name, last name, email, and phone, and book in a free consult. You would, the problem with her funnel is she's offering that free consult, but in the free consult, all she's selling is something that's worth $125. That's not a consult funnel. A consult funnel is designed, like you can't waste your time in free consults just to sell something that's $125. If that's the only thing on your value ladder, oh, good, thanks, Anna. Good. If that's the only thing on your value ladder, and that's kind of the best next step for people, don't waste your time in a consult. You can do that through a self-liquidating funnel, or you don't need to do a consult for that. Consults should really only be used if you're selling something that's hundreds of dollars, as in really $500 or more dollars. If it's less than $500, you should sell it just on the actual landing pages, right? Stepping people up in price points, going from free to $1 to $37 to $67 to $97, and then up to $147 to $297 as far as you could really go there. So you'd have to step people through it if you didn't have a product over $500. If you're doing a free consult, don't do it unless you've got something over $500, right? Then it's worth you sitting down doing a free consult. Otherwise, the numbers don't work. It's just not the purpose of a consult funnel. So I hope that helps. Next question, just go get my notebook, or I'll just put that here. Was from Christy. I'm offering a membership program for Pilates instructor mentoring. Cool, good. So she's going to the instructor rather than just direct out to public. So you can always have a higher perceived value when you're showing people how to make money. So she's showing how Pilates instructors how to make money through mentoring them. Trying to decide whether on the front end it's best to do a lead magnet, a questionnaire, a mini masterclass, or a fact sheet. Oh, sorry, for her lead magnet. That makes sense. Also, they're all the same thing. So for her lead magnet, should she do a questionnaire, a mini masterclass, or a fact sheet? In your place of being in a space where Pilates instructors are like a niche of what I'm doing, I guess, in that sense, I'd probably going through Membership program? No, I'd go through a case study funnel if I was selling something higher value. For a membership program, I'd probably do a survey funnel. Christy, this is Christy with an I, Kristi. If you're using ClickFunnels, let me know, because I've got a really cool survey funnel. It's just that it's the same kind of thing as a normal membership funnel, but we use a survey here instead, and it works really nicely. And people love filling out a survey or a quiz online. And it basically pre-frames them in the types of questions you ask, pre-frame them to wanting what's on the next page. We say, thanks for filling out the questionnaire. The result's going to be in your inbox soon. I just want to take this opportunity to invite you to blah. Join me in the membership course. And you relate it back to some things that they might have answered in the questionnaire. So yeah, I'd do a questionnaire survey or a quick cheat sheet. So the top 7 things Pilates instructors wish they knew before they started their private practice, or something along those lines where you're looking at a pain point of Pilates instructors. The 6 reasons why most Pilates instructors aren't earning what they should, or whatever it is, right? Something along those kinds of lines, hitting on the pain points of what Pilates instructors are feeling, which is probably you don't want to hone too much in on time for money, because you're kind of teaching them how to make time for money. So you probably wanted to hone into financial problems and the fact that they're not receiving the income that they want to make. Is where I would go with that one. Next question. Yeah, the survey funnel. Okay, I don't want to overcomplicate it and have too many different things going on, but I'll share it with you. I'm not going to grab it now. That's going to take too long. I will share it with you. I'll just make a note here. Please remind me to share the survey funnel. This is all based on top funnels by other marketers, and I'm launching my own in the next couple of weeks. This is to cold traffic, so not a survey like I did with you guys, like a market research survey. This is a quiz survey to get people to trust you enough to give you an email address because they want the answers of that survey, if that makes sense. It's not a market research survey. It's a lead magnet quiz to get people in through the front door, to cold traffic that have never heard of you before. So I'm testing that out, a Groundhog Day style of that soon. So it'll be good to see the results coming in from that. It's very popular with a lot of marketers, and I'm yet to test it myself. I've just had a few girls in my program try it, and it's worked really, really well for them. So woohoo! You will, Nicole. Nicole's learning so many new I just love listening and learning new vocabulary. I'm yet to go through all of the modules. This is my 3rd office hours. I'm hoping by May I'll be much more confident. Thank you. Yeah, it's a whole new language, but the more and more I talk to girls that have been in the program for a while, I start hearing them just, dropping words like conversion rates and genius zones and lead magnets and things into conversation, and I just love it. They all have no idea how much they've grown from when I first talked to them. They had no idea what a landing page was, and now they know crazy advanced online business strategies. It's cool. Cool. Patrice's question. She's got her thank you page ready but doesn't have a video for it yet. Is there anything else that you would suggest putting in the space? She needs a video on her thank you page until the video is ready. It won't convert as well. Some of my girls who are really not keen on the whole video side of things have done slide pack videos. So that's where you'll see they're called video sales letters, where it's kind of like my webinar. If you've watched my webinar, not as long, but a 5 minutes on a PowerPoint slide, I guess, where you've got a voiceover and you're just reading out words and you've got images and pictures and things, and you're telling a similar kind of story, but through text rather than your face. Video sales letters don't convert as well as a good-looking video, but still convert better than boring text, far better than boring text on a page. So video sales letters, which is basically a slide pack, a PowerPoint, and you just write down what you're saying out loud, write that down in the slide pack with a sentence on every slide, a few images to make it half interesting to look at, and read it out with a voiceover over the top, but still make it super engaging, right? And make sure that you're asking your trial closers quite a bit in that as well. Questions with a yes answer. What's the best way? This is a question from Louisa. Yeah, good, Belinda. You're smashing it. I'm very proud of you lately. Well, always, but particularly lately, you've been working your behind off. Belinda says, I love listening too. The more I listen, the easier it gets. Now, Louisa, your question, what's the best way to market to corporates? I'm looking to take corporate yoga into banks. So corporates still on Facebook. LinkedIn will cost you far too much money. You get much better demographic targeting and much cheaper cost on Facebook. I want you to be using one of these three things, because I always use these three things when I'm targeting B2B on Facebook. So it'll either be industry, qualifications, or job title. So if you're targeting teachers, it would be everyone that has a Bachelor of Education or certain Bachelors of Education. If you're targeting school principals or HR managers or those kinds of things, you'd be targeting people with that in their job title, right? Or if you're targeting a little bit more broadly, like people that, you know, or you might be targeting baristas, something like that. Or if you're targeting people that are in the cafe industry, you just target people that are in the cafe industry. So you can base it on or real estate industry or things like that. So either industry, job title, or qualifications. If you're targeting plastic surgeons, it's everyone who's got a qualification of, so it would be can't remember, I did that ages ago, a Bachelor of Cosmetic and a Bachelor of Plastic Surgery. It wasn't even a Bachelor, I can't even remember. No, actually the other one that I targeted was if there's an association that they're all a member of. So if you're targeting plumbers, they're all associations of the Masters Plumbing Association. That's how I got the plastic surgeons. They were all members of the Royal Association, no, the Royal Australian Plastics and Cosmetic Surgery Association or something like that. So sometimes there are industry bodies that you can track. But in your case, in going corporate, so if we're ever talking banks or FMCGs or government or anything like that, you're usually going to be targeting job title within an industry. So the industry might be banking, and then the job title, whoever you think are the main key decision makers of that decision or the key influencers of that decision should have that ad shown to them. Good job, Patrice. I will get my skates on and I will do it now. Awesome, thanks. You're welcome. So I hope that helps with yours, Louisa. Next question is from, no, I'm out. I'm out. I'm all out of time. I have to go. But I'm glad I've been able to answer all of these. Well, so many of these. I've answered almost everyone's. Yay. Go me. Go me. Great. Good. I've answered the bulk of them, and I've definitely answered everyone who's been able to join me live, which is super helpful. You're welcome, guys. I'm glad, Louise. I'm so glad. I'm glad it's been able to be helpful. Okay. I am going to leave you all to your afternoons. What time is it? Yeah, it's definitely time. I'm going to leave you all to your afternoons, or if you're in the US, your late evenings, or if you're in the UK, your early morning. Get to bed. Well done, girlies. I hope that's been helpful and got you, more direction that you needed for this week ahead, and answer any little sticking blocks that were holding you back from getting things done. Time to go and crack on. Get your skates on, as Patrice just said, and get these funnels out, get them tested, get that message right to market, and get everyone loving what you're doing and building a business around it. I will see you in the next office hours. Have an amazing week, guys, and yeah, I'll keep you updated later on this week about some cool stuff that's happening very soon in the life of the program. And next week, just letting you know, I'm just confirming my office hours time for next week. I am in New Zealand, filming 143 videos for you. 143 videos. I'm going to be very busy, and you'll get access to those all by the 3rd of March. So crazy editing speed to get all of that done in time. So the 3rd of March, they will be released. So next week, I think I'm going to have to do it like evening, which will be morning for evening Australia, which will be morning for America, which will be lunchtime for UK, whatever that is. I'll let you know as soon as I've been able to confirm. I'm just confirming my filming schedule, making sure I've got high-speed internet connection so I can connect with you guys. Regardless, your questions will be answered, whether it's live or whether it's manually through me doing it offline. But I'll let you know as soon as I can, because yeah, I'm very excited to get all of this awesome new training. I'm just making it super simple and super step-by-step. That's the biggest thing I learned from the survey. You guys, you like and need the strategy, the strategic side of knowing the big picture, but then you need me to break it down into really simple step-by-step. So I'm trying to make everything really step-by-step. So I'll have that all to you in the first week of March, which will be very exciting. Until then, I'm in New Zealand filming for a week next week. Anyway, I'll keep you in the loop, guys. I'll let you know this Friday what the go is for next week in your inboxes and in the Facebook group. Hope that's been helpful. I'm really going to go now and stop waffling. Bye.